Ahoy folks, Craigo from Pure Xbox here because today we'd love to share with you our review for Harold Halibut, an upcoming handcrafted narrative adventure launching day one on Game Pass. Normally, at this point, I'd introduce who's been scribbling away at the written review for PureXbox.com. However, on this occasion, it was only me who did it. Alrighty then, how about we dive right into it? German developer Slowbros has certainly lived up to their name. It's been 14 years since they gathered for dinner and serendipitously decided to make a game. Despite lacking the technical knowledge to actually make one, they set out to create a cinematic narrative adventure. Well, where most saw barriers, Slowbros saw an opportunity. They spent those 14 years meticulously handcrafting every facet of what would eventually become the story of their clay baby boy, Harold Halibut.
Felix, come on. Can't you tell me where we're headed?
Good things come to those who wait.
Harold Halibut tells the story of, well, Harold. Despite his tired eyes, Harold is a 20-something lab assistant to the lead scientist aboard the Fedora 1, an Ark-like spaceship submerged in the endless sea of a toxic alien planet. For anywhere between 12 to 18 hours, players are guided through a telltale story exploring what it means to be human, our place within the universe, our friendships, and what it truly means to go or not go with the flow.
Oh, Harold, we should start a book club.
Maybe?
Things get interesting for Harold when he's awoken by a loud alarm in the middle of the night. For 250 years, the 5 generations of Fedorians who have lived, worked, and died aboard the city-sized vessel have been completely alone in the universe. All that changes when Wiyu, a fishy alien person known as a flumulum, gets caught in the ship's water filter.
Are they gonna be okay?
Let me see. If they look to be drying out, give them a spritz.
And what do we do next?
Just let me think for a minute.
Wiyu lifts a mirror to Harold's life, like the age-old parable of an older fish who crosses paths with 2 younger fish and asks, "How's the water?" Eventually, one of them looks at the other and asks, "What the hell is water?" Comparably, Harold hasn't questioned his life. He's been busy seeking purpose from others and resenting his ancestors for his role aboard the Fedora 1. It's clear his mindset begins to shift when he befriends this carefree flumulum who encourages him to question the banal platitudes of life's daily rules and rituals.
Humans are so unpredictable and complicated. There is almost nothing to understand. You're like...
The all-water tube system?
I was going to say fizzy bubbles, but okay.
We know, the whole sci-fi Noah's Ark thing isn't new by any stretch of the imagination, but refreshingly, that isn't really the point here. Sure, it's important that Fedora 1 has enough energy to keep its denizens alive and breathing, and Harold will play his part in all that. But for us, the real essence of Harold Halibut is following the day-to-day life of a young man who's just trying to figure his shit out.
Sometimes I stop what I'm doing and I think, no one ever truly knows how I feel. How anyone feels. So, what actually connects us?
Of course, there's plenty more to the story. We especially loved moments where Harold stopped paying attention to his PDA and started transforming boring moving tasks into ingenious games of Tetris. And that's not all. Harold can be found singing within the water filter and acting as Agent Harrelson alongside a rabble of mischievous kids. But we'll stop right there and let you discover the story beats for yourselves.
Harold, won't you stay? The jog team won't be the same without you.
Yeah, Venga, Harold. You can't leave now, I just got here.
If we're being honest, whilst the halibut may be a flat fish, elements of the overarching narrative still suffer from a fair bit of bloat. For those of you who just want to enjoy a game with steady pacing, the often obstructive nature of Harold's life may frustrate you. Maybe they're building empathy, who knows? But if you're in it for the long voyage, you will find charming, profound, and deeply funny writing waiting for you aboard the Fedora 1. The type of dry humor that keeps you smiling when life aboard the submerged giant gets heavy.
Now, as you both know, time is of the essence. Where are my manners? Would either of you like something to drink?
I suppose I might like a coffee?
There's really no time for coffee. Time is of the essence. Professor.
Harold Halibut explores themes of the mundane, life and death, and what it means to be home. This particular reviewer found himself welling up whilst delivering lost mail to complex and burdened residents. But don't worry, all sorrow was quickly lost to watching telly in the lounge and chuckling at each ridiculous commercial wedged between parts of the Turkish telenovela Sansu's Ash.
Buy Magpie Orolux toothpaste today and make your teeth so sparkly someone's gonna try and steal you.
But let's not beat around the kelp here. In terms of visual style, what Slowbros has managed to achieve with Harold Halibut is nothing short of brilliance. Taking clear inspiration from stop-motion greats like Aardman, Leica, and even Pingu, Slowbros opted for handcrafted props, claymation characters, and even welded set designs. These are scrupulously scanned into the game through a process known as photogrammetry.
I'll let you know exactly when to start the process. Wait for my command. Just like comedy, timing is everything here.
Alongside his shipmates, Harold was sculpted in clay, painted and dressed in hand-stitched finery, and then extensively photographed from every angle, imperfections and all. These 3D character models were rendered and rigged using motion capture techniques, resulting in a stop-motion aesthetic. Stop motion, in its raw simplicity, is a medium best known for breathing life, fingerprints, and brushstrokes into its characters. It seems only fitting that Slowbros would be inspired by this approach when developing a game all about a man exploring what it means to exist. Aesthetically, its retro-futuristic vibe is both sensitive and deliberate, and in our view, one of the best looking games on Xbox. Yeah, we said it.
I know, right?
I've never looked at it this way before.
In their own words, Slowbros has described Harold Halibut as a cross between game and stop-motion film. If you head into this expecting the bells and whistles of the Fortnites and Call of Duties of the world, then you'll probably nope out pretty quickly. Besides the odd minigame here and there, you'll spend a lot of time hopping between districts via Allwater's soggy tube system. We appreciate that Harold Halibut is essentially a 9-to-5 simulator, but getting out of your bed every morning, walking through the same corridors, and tubing from one location to the next does get tedious. Not to mention, each time you step in and out of the tube system, the all-water announcer repeats the same selection of lines like some type of corporate Furby.
Unsatisfactory journey for some reason? Just contact your nearest and all water will make it up to you.
Finally, a quick note on Harold's performance review. We played through the entire game on the Xbox Series X. Although Harold may not be as quick as Buddy the Postie, we're happy to report that he does manage to maintain a consistently smooth 60 FPS. This, of course, was in the game's performance mode, which runs at 1440p at 60 FPS. If you're keen on 4K visuals, you could knock it up to quality mode at 30 FPS. But shh, I heard the internet hates 30 FPS now, so best keep your happy 30 FPS attitude off Twitter. That being whispered, we would recommend playing in performance mode because it runs nearly perfectly, and you'll hardly notice the difference in visual fidelity. Harold Halibut is a handcrafted and heartfelt tale of human existence, delivering charming, profound, and deeply funny writing guaranteed to put a smile on your face. What Slowbros has managed to achieve with its visual style is masterful, and for our money is now one of the best looking games on Xbox. The gameplay can feel repetitive at times, and the writing can drag in places, but ultimately we think it's worth seeing it through to the end. If you've got a Game Pass subscription, it's worth checking the game out for its aesthetic alone. Harold Halibut won't be a game for everybody, but for those that resonate with its story, it's sure to stick with you for a long time. Well, there you have it. That's actually my first game review for PureXbox.com, and ever for that matter, but I hope you enjoyed it. We're of course excited to hear what you think when you get your hands on Harold Halibut, so be sure to let us know your thoughts. Remember to check out our website, PureXbox.com, for more reviews like this one, and subscribe to the channel here as well. Drop a like if you did, dislike if you didn't. All that's left to say is bye-bye for now. Cheerio!